Hello, I'm Green.
I'm Purple.
Welcome back to Green and Purple. We're back podcasting again today. And today we're not going off a list per se. We're just, I got some of our older series pulled up here that we did about a year ago now, I guess. A little over a year.
Oh, it's been so long.
And just kind of revisiting some old series and seeing if we have any new thoughts about them or, you know, if they had any lasting impact on us.
That's a weird noise.
So let's go back to our first two series. The first one being Gradius 4, which you have anything new to add about Gradius 4, Caleb? You were really angry at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a combination of it was our first series, and also you weren't playing as well as you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
So you were very frustrated while we were playing it.
Which now I look back on and Gradius 4 definitely isn't one of my most favorite of the Gradius games,
Right?
Because it's arcade and the way that one's designed, it's very, very, very unfair in a lot of spots.
Right.
But I still love it.
I think we've kind of relaxed quite a bit since then. Back then, it was you especially, you were very much on you didn't want to waste anyone's time, and we had to be making progress constantly.
Yeah.
Or it was you weren't happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of the. So I think that's definitely a good thing that's come with time. With it is we've definitely gotten more relaxed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, God, all of Shadow the Hedgehog was us just struggling with the game. That was the entirety of it. The other series, which was, even though it was one of our earlier series, it's still one of our longest. I think it still is our third longest series, which is Parasite Eve. What are your thoughts on Parasite Eve, Kate?
I still think that is.
I think fond back on it very fondly.
Oh yeah. It started a lot of personal memes, green and purple memes. I guess.
Yeah, just between me and Caleb.
Do you?
Yeah, it was just. It definitely wasn't without its problems.
Right.
I definitely remember back to some of the boss battles where we were this isn't very... this isn't a great boss battle, and just some of the dungeons were very... not fun, in my opinion.
I got pretty pissed off.
Yeah. But as a whole, I think that's the mark of a good game, is that looking back on it, I don't regret playing it, and I would like to play it again at some point. I definitely enjoyed it. And I think...
We haven't owned up on our promise to go back and do the Chrysler building.
Well, we still have time. At least we beat we're not like Game Grumps where it's we get halfway through a game and then just abandon it forever.
Right.
We beat the main game. It's just extra stuff we didn't do. But yeah, I think we said this back then, but I think the game holds up pretty well. Even today, just a lot of its unique elements still make it fun to play. And it's not as grind heavy as a lot of games from that time are.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm excited if we ever play Parasite Eve 2 on the channel, because I think Parasite Eve 2 looks a lot of fun too, but also very different from the first one. Let's see what another series, Dead Space, which we talked about last time. So we'll kind of skip over Dead Space. Just I still love Dead Space, so that's about it. Maldita Castilla. Yeah, I remember it, but then I also forgotten quite a bit of it. I mean, it was pretty short. It's a pretty short game. But I just remember the artwork. That's the thing that stuck out to me, is being really well done in the game.
Oh, yes.
And then just doing really cheesy, bad Spanish accents the entire game.
Mendoza, you don't look too good. Those are always the things that I remember most of our old... The random stupid things you say.
Well, I say stupid things very often. Next one's To the Moon.
That was a fun.
I like To the Moon. Because you hadn't played it or seen it beforehand, right?
Right.
And I had. But yeah, To the Moon I think is just a really... It's one of those games, it's the game itself isn't that anything special, but it's the story that's actually special. Yeah. So I think it's just as interesting to watch someone else play it as it is to play it yourself. So if you don't want to play it, I would watch someone play it, because it's definitely a story worth experiencing, in my opinion. Next one's Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which was another short one, but I remember it because like
I remember you had to restart after the first episode because you got so screwed over.
Yeah, like I just like, and I won't be one of those people who's like, oh, I got bad RNG. Like I messed up quite a bit in the first episode, but like after that, like I had a really good run after that. Yeah. But yeah, in the first episode, like I think I like drove off a cliff or something.
I remember it like we had ended the episode, and like after that, you got some guy just ran up and tackled you to the ground.
I got killed really quickly. Like it was a bad run. If you don't know, if you're don't care at all about the Metal Gear Solid story, and you just want like a short little like stealth adventure, like I would pick up Ground Zeroes. It's probably like dirt cheap now, and it's just fun for a good hour-long stealth little thing. And then if you want to do all the extra stuff, that adds quite a bit more time to it. But if you don't like stealth, then I mean, you won't know what's happening in the story, so there's really not going to be anything there for you. The next one is Ares Action. What are your thoughts about Ares Action?
I still love that game, even though because me getting mad at it.
I mean, that's its whole point.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it. But I always go back and look at when I do play a game and I do get angry, and I know a lot of people probably maybe like. I don't know. It's like probably see me as being childish or insufferable.
It's I mean, that's the weird thing. You like all those rage games. I don't care for them. I don't like hate them, but it's just not the game that I seek out to play. But yeah, I mean, games like that. I don't understand people like ragging on you for like getting angry whenever like. The whole point you play them is because like you want to get like mad at them, and the whole reason you watch people play rage games is to watch people get mad.
Angry. Yeah.
Which I mean, you can make the argument that people get angry in different ways, and like, definitely some people are more funny to like watch when they're like. Sometimes whenever I see people get angry, like if they're getting angry at the wrong things, like sometimes Aaron and Game Grumps like will get angry at things that I don't think warrant it, and like that can be annoying. But yeah, just like watching rage games, like the whole reason you show up is to watch people get angry. I think.
But what was I gonna say? It's like I always go back and I watch like when I do get angry, I watch it, and then I even like showed it to a friend one time, and we both agreed that I didn't really get that mad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between getting peeved off and be like, man, I hate this game, and like yelling at the top of your lungs at the game, like throwing a controller across the room. Which I've never gotten that mad at a game, but I've seen people get that mad at a game. It's a little frightening. I like watching people get mad. I don't like watching people get that mad. That goes beyond what I find funny, I think.
Like, I get very verbal.
Right.
I just get very verbal.
Well, you know all those videos where it's like, angry kid smashes keyboard or something like that? Like, I don't find those to be all that funny. Like, I know some people think it's really funny to just watch people, like, flip out. But to me, I don't know, it's more cringy than funny to me, I think, a lot of the time. The cringe. Next one is Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights.
That was fun.
That was fun. It was like a lot of the childhood games we played. Like, there was a couple parts where I was like, okay, this isn't as good as I remember it. And also, like, having to go get all those Scooby snacks towards the end of the game. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like, it didn't take us that long to get that many. But
it's just the giant jump of
Scooby snacks. It definitely felt like something where they just wanted to kind of arbitrarily add some length to the game by making you go back and get Scooby snacks. Which I guess if you're being a completionist and getting every Scooby snack along the way, maybe you didn't run into that problem. But for us, we had to go back and search for Scooby snacks. Next one is Momodora 3.
Still love that game.
It's another game that sticks out to me mainly for the artwork. Like, I remember the artwork being really, really beautiful.
I feel like I had a really great run with it because I was speed running it because
so you could do the extra thing at the end,
or I could save that one person,
because
she dies if you take too long, and I wanted to like save her, and so I was worried because I I don't speed run too much, but there are a few games that I do attempt to speed run. So that was like my first recorded speed run, and I felt like it went fairly well.
Oh, my mom sent me a picture of a puppy. Let's look at this picture of a puppy, Caleb.
Make sure you put up on screen.
Oh. That's a pretty cute puppy. That's a cute puppy. I like that puppy. Anyways, back to the video. Next one's Bomberman Hero. I don't know if these are in actual order of like when we played them, but these are all older series.
That was fun. That was my very first 100% completion.
Right. That was Bomberman Hero is the one that it was
Sorry,
like a full...
wait. Did you say Bomberman Hero or Bomberman World?
Hero.
Oh yeah, Hero. Okay, that's 64.
Hero's the one where you like have full 360 move.
Yeah.
It's not the one that's just like another Bomberman game, right? Yeah. I remember that one. I do remember the couple levels though, like maybe the underwater level
where things would despawn.
Yeah. And we were just like, really? What? Because we'd come back to the same place and like, it was there. It just like had despawned on us the one time. But yeah, I remember that game being a lot of fun. The next one is Super Mario 64. It's a great game. But before we say anything, like the game itself is
I love Mario 64.
Yeah,
just doing it the two guys, one controller.
It makes any game hard. Like if any game is still fun when you're playing it in that way, like the game must be fantastic. Either that or just like must not require a whole lot of coordination.
Especially since we forgot that you need 70. No, you need...
It was 70.
We thought 70.
You needed 60.
Yeah.
So we had to go find 10 more stars.
So which means we had to go back to Rainbow Ride. God.
Yeah, that wasn't great. But, again, the game as a whole was... Mm-hmm. And I still think, in the end, it was fun. It was like... It was the type of frustration that was still fun in a way. In a way, it drained me much less than Super Mario Sunshine did, I feel like. Sunshine... I dreaded playing Sunshine, but 64 was more like, okay, let's try and do this. Like, you know, it's gonna be funny, but you know, it'd still be difficult. The next one is Inside, which is we both played that one, right?
Yeah, we swapped off.
I love Inside.
Yeah,
I think Inside is a really good game. Another one that's pretty short, but I think
like we said, I think we said in while we were playing it, just how open it leaves the players with like coming up with their own theories and stuff like that. It doesn't.
All the story it presents to you is completely up to your own interpretation,
right.
And I think it does a really good job at that. And I think it does a good job at just creating a creepy atmosphere throughout the entire game. It's good at making it creepy, but it's not a horror game.
Right.
It's just unsettling the entire time. So the next one is Bloodborne, which we were just talking about.
I miss chat.
You miss chat. And Chat didn't have any lines in the he never talks in the game. It's just us putting Chat's personality onto him and just how horrifying it was to look at.
That chin.
Oh god, the chin. The chin that would make the Crimson Chin blush. I love Bloodborne.
I like it too. I mean, I'm not into the Soul games. I don't really... Right. They're not my cup of tea. Right. But I don't mind watching other people play them.
Right. And I think Bloodborne's one of the most interesting to look at just because the design of everything's really...
And it has a very Lovecraftian style to it.
Right.
And I love Lovecraft.
Yeah, I think... Because after... I played Bloodborne first, and then I played the Souls games after that. And I love the Dark Souls games. But to me, Bloodborne will always be special. One, because it was the first one I played. And two, just because I personally find that type of setting, Victorian, like kind of horror-y vibe, more interesting than the medieval vibe that Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 have.
Also, that was our very first series where the Elgato screwed us over the most, I feel.
Yeah, because we lost
a boss fight.
We lost a boss. We lost something that we couldn't reasonably get back. Because I think Parasite Eve, we lost a couple things, but it was always things we could either reload a save or it wasn't that important to the overall thing. But Bloodborne, you can't reload saves and you can't fight things over again. So we lost the second to
Margot's.
We lost Margot's Wet Nurse, which is, depending on which route you're doing in the game, either the second to last boss or the third to last boss or the last boss. But yeah, that annoyed me because, I mean, more or less, one of the main reasons you watch someone play a Souls or Bloodborne game is to watch them fight the bosses.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of the reason you play the Souls games, because you like to see what cool bosses they have. And just the fact that we lost one of them angered me. The next one, switching gears, is Icho Aniki, which is...
oh, goodness.
If you haven't watched Icho Aniki, it's only 2 episodes.
Do it!
You should go back and watch it, because it's strange.
I would definitely want to play more games, because I play a lot more of these, like, random obscure Japanese games.
Right.
And I just love showing it to other people just to see their expression. And I was not disappointed at all with Austin's expression throughout the entirety of that game.
It was a constant assault on my sense of, I don't know.
The tree man's still my favorite boss in that game. The little that guy.
The whole game is just, I don't even know how to. It's just like
it's hard.
Unsettling in some ways. It's confusing in many ways. It's just it just is.
I love the Icho Aniki series.
The next one we have is Rayman Legends.
That was really fun.
I enjoyed that one. They haven't done a Rayman game since Legends, right? That was the last one they've done.
I think so, yeah.
But I'm excited. I hope they do another Rayman game, because I thought Origins and whenever we played Legends together were both a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're really well made. They're beautiful to look at. The artwork's fantastic. The music's a lot of fun. They're just like really good, fun games, but that are still challenging. Because I think that's the difference. Like, a lot of Nintendo games tend to be, they're still fun, but they've kind of started gearing towards a lot easier experiences. Just general. They're still hard Nintendo games, but I think Rayman Origins and Legends both balanced it really well as like being challenging but fair and fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed Legends. The next one is another Bomberman game. It's the Bomberman World that we played, which was a much shorter game than Bomberman Hero.
Also a little bit more stressful.
Yeah, but yeah.
Good.
Would you say you like Hero more than Bomberman World?
Yeah.
It definitely... Bomberman World is very much your standard Bomberman game. Bomberman Hero was kind of doing what a lot of series did in this Nintendo 64 age, of like trying something completely new to take advantage of 3D technology.
I also remember how stressed out I was during the final boss. Like it was I remember I only had like one hit left, and it was like, I don't want to die here. I really don't want to die here, because I would have lost my time bomb power up and everything, and then it would have made the bosses that much harder. It would have made it even
harder. Yeah.
So I just remember it clicking with me at just the right moment of how his laser attack worked.
Right. The next game is Chet's Return in Death Road to Canada. I love
Swole Botnik.
Death Road to Canada was both like, it changed so quickly from me like, oh, this is great, to just no. Because like we seem to be doing so well, and
that's what happens.
And I loved like our team composition was so weird and out there, because it was like
it was Daniel
who was Chet,
Dr. Robotnik,
and then Tenzu from Galgun. And like, I know we ran into other people and like it changed a couple in like that last episode, but like that was the main team.
Right.
And I thought they just had like a really good dynamic. It was just such a weird, like odd group.
And everyone was mean to Chet.
Everyone was mean to Chet, but like, and it was weird because like that was probably the only way you could ever feel bad for Chet. But yeah, like you said, I guess that's the nature of roguelikes, where it's just like everything will go south really quickly.
Oh yeah,
it's never like things are getting bad, things are getting bad, things are getting bad. It's usually just like things are going good, and then you're dead.
Yep.
And
Splunky.
The next game was Journey, which I love Journey.
That was really fun.
That was also when the Elgato screwed us over pretty badly at the end of Journey.
That's right. We lost the entire finale.
Yeah, and I mean, we still had the finale, but like, it just angered me more than that because we didn't really lose any footage in the end. Like, everyone still saw everything.
We just lost good commentary.
We lost our genuine reactions at the very end of the game, which angered me a lot just because they were very genuine reactions, and it was very, I don't want to say emotional in the sense, like, we weren't like crying or anything, but like
I was just kidding.
But
once, I can be kind of a crybaby, but not this time.
But the game itself was very much a kind of
empowering
and very meaningful experience. Yeah, and just the fact that we lost our actual reactions at the end angered me. It made me mad. But you work with it. Next one's a series you felt very strongly about at the time, which is No More Heroes. What are your thoughts now that it's quite a bit in the past on No More Heroes?
I did like the game,
right?
But I definitely still feel like the cons outweigh the pros of it.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, for me. That's where the whole insufferable joke comes from.
Right. We're not trying to be like,
no, we're not
rude about it. We take it as stride. Right. It's kind of a little jab or anything.
Yeah. Right. So that's why I always say oh, I'm so insufferable.
Right.
Because I got really angry at one point when I was fighting the Magic Man, and he used an instant kill. And this is just my opinion. I hate instant kills. I hate them. I don't think that's good game design to have a boss have a move that instantly kills you. Right. Now, in some cases, I feel like it can be done right, but most of the time they're done poorly. And I felt like in No More Heroes, it was done poorly. I do appreciate the ending. I think when I first played, I was a little bit.
I think you were still just salty from the
but
rest of the game.
I went back. I do like the ending. I think the ending was very clever. I like the humor of it.
It's very much in line with the style of the rest of the game, which is just kind of irreverent and very always on the edge of being serious and also just slapstick, stupid humor to it.
And that final boss, not the extra final boss, the lady, the fighter boxer lady. Yeah. That fight I loved. That was so good. That was a great way to end things off. Her boss fight was incredibly fun. It always had you on your toes. It made you think, and I'm glad that it brought it back at the end there, because the boss fights up until that point. Well, once you got to
the later one,
when you got to I think it started with Harvey Harvey the magician dude. I think he was my first offender that got me real pissed off, and then Grand Money, G-Money, Grandma, yeah. But
I think for you, it was just kind of a combination of the game is very grindy, and I think it already
I don't mind. I love grinding. Don't take it out of context.
Right.
I love grinding. I play a lot of games that are grind heavy, like Disgaea and Etrian Odyssey and stuff like that.
But it was a combination. You weren't very into the game, the core gameplay of it, and the game was forcing you to keep doing the same things over again. And I think that just compounded any of problems you had with certain bosses. It was just the game wasn't winning any points with you already. And
that stupid bus thing where you're on the bus and you have no room to move, and these guys are
yeah, it's just if you like a game a lot and it does something annoying, you're much quicker to forgive and be okay, well, it just had this one thing. But if a game's already kind of testing you and then it does something annoying, then you're much more likely to just be okay, I'm done with you right now.
So would I go back and replay No More Heroes? Probably not. But I still the person Mezzy that gifted us No More Heroes. She did gift me No More Heroes 2, and I will be playing it on the show because.
And I heard No More Heroes 2 is a big jump.
Like I said at the end of No More Heroes, I do want to play the second one. I really do. I want to see where they go with it.
Right. It's definitely a game that I think it does well to have a sequel because there's a lot of room for it to grow. It has interesting ideas but not great execution, and then you want the execution to catch up with the creative vision of the game.
But Mezzy, I swear to God, if you're watching this and if you send me another shit game,
You're getting banned so hard.
Banhammer?
Oh, yes.
The next one was... We're getting into our Halloween stuff.
Ooh, I can't wait. I know you're going to love this.
Oh, God. Well, the next one is Mix Or.
Oh, the Yandere games.
Right.
I still like those.
I think Mixor was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I liked it because I liked Yandere stories, and I also liked it just because when we were doing the second one, I believe, and you were doing that country.
Oh yeah,
that I lost my shit on that. That was so hilarious.
Well, it was just like the combination, I think, of like anime girls, but like you don't just like a country bumpkin, but
right?
In like an anime setting, it's just like. The perfect fish out of water, just like he does not fit in type of thing, you know? Like my papa had the corn farm. That was like something like that.
But yeah, I liked the mix. I like the Mixor and all those Yandere games. Just
yeah,
because
the next one was Yanderella, which
it
is
shows
the same thing.
it just shows a good job just how messed up Yanderes can be and how twisted it is. It's a good. If you're like into that stuff and like, right. Wow, this is really messed up, then those are really perfect for you, and I like that.
The next one was our like overall October series, which was Silent Hill, which I still remember. I think there's definitely parts of Silent Hill I think don't hold up so well. Primarily the fact that it's hard to tell where you're supposed to be going or what you're supposed to be doing at certain types of the game. I think that really helps it whenever you're playing through it a second time because you already kind of have a general idea of where you need to be going. But yeah, the first time I played that game, I got lost quite a few times. I was like, I don't know where to go. But like once you're actually in the levels themselves, I think the game gets a lot better because
the stages were fantastic.
Yeah, I think they're really
dungeons.
They're really creepy. They're really, but they're designed well. And I don't know why, but it seems like there's a lot less of the locked door syndrome in Silent Hill 1 than there are in the later games. Because I think in the first one, like the way they designed it, like most doors either were like locked so you could unlock them later, or were just unlocked. Whereas in 2 and 3, just like because of the design, they wanted it to look more realistic. I think so. When you're in a hotel, realistically, there's going to be a lot of doors, but not all of them are going to have stuff in them. But then you have a lot of that, just like checking the door. It's locked. That one's broke. That one's broke. I can't get in here. Which can be a little tedious. But I think Silent Hill 1 still is pretty creepy. I think it holds up better than Resident Evil 1 in terms of actual scare value today. Like, it's still... Resident Evil 1 is more or less a comedy now, just because of its voice acting. Oh, God. No, you can't see it, but Caleb's doing the Alfred... Wesker slicked back hair thing from the intro. I mean, I still love Resident Evil 1.
Oh yeah,
but I think in terms of if you actually want to be scared by an old game, Silent Hill 1's probably going to be better at it than Resident Evil is. Next one's Welcome to the Game.
The ending.
The whole game, we're like, I mean, I guess I think for the most part until the ending, we were more unsettled just by like the idea behind the game.
Oh yeah,
like just us talking about the deep web and how like it actually is a real thing and actually harbors some pretty horrifying stuff.
And most of those sites that are on the game, it's like this. It probably is true. Like there probably is a website like this with like human trafficking and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so that was like for the most part that was what was kind of the creepy undertone of it. But then it got like the one jump scare and at the end where we were just like, why?
Because for me, I was like, why did I lose control of my character?
And I like, it didn't even give you enough warning where like I didn't even know you had lost control.
Right.
Like it was just a couple seconds where we had just been doing something, and then like you lost control, and before you could even tell me like I can't move or anything. It like turns the camera over and the guy's like right there and we're both just like dog. I think that was like one of the few like jump scares that like got both of us during the Halloween. Yeah, but the mic had to happen at least once. But I think it's an interesting idea.
I know if they've updated it,
right?
And I'll probably check it out sometime.
it's a weird game because I guess the gameplay itself really isn't what I would consider like fun.
Yeah.
In the terms of like, it's mainly just like pattern recognition, such like stuff like that. But it's just I don't know. I still think the idea is interesting.
Yes, definitely.
Oh God, Sonic 06. I feel like we keep talking back about Sonic 06 pretty frequently, anyways. But
we gotta get back on that.
Well, we're still not sure what exactly we want to do with Sonic 06 because like we're never gonna beat it if we only do our once every year. But at the same time, I don't think either of us are quite ready to tackle it in earnest. It's bad. It's real bad.
What's next?
Okay, let's end off with just the various side games we played during October. We played all the EXE games, which ranged from decent to bad, just bad.
Toy Story.
Oh God.
What is that game more?
We had Slender, which was translated to Caleb getting horrified and me getting lost. like
Caleb, I wasn't expecting for it to affect me that way.
Because I mean, it was old. Like I knew we were both afraid of it back in middle school,
right? But
it was in middle school,
right?
And it's a pretty archaic game in terms of design.
And I was like having an anxiety attack.
I was worried about you. Like by the end, like didn't you just like give up?
Yeah,
because you were just like, I'm done with this.
I can't handle this.
Sorry, someone's calling. Then we had all of the Five Nights games.
Which were all, for the most part, pretty...
I mean, they were pretty decent. Even the worst ones at least worked.
Though the best ones, in my opinion, were the One Night Flumpties.
Yeah, I think they had the most artistic credence behind
where
them.
Where it took the idea of FNAF, but it kind of made it its own thing.
Right. And then the last week, we just had...
bad it's scary.
Yeah, all the bad ones.
Go through them.
We had Terror Lab, which was the monkey.
It goes bip.
And it goes bip. Here, wait, I gotta load the rest of them. We have Satanist, which was another one I just got horribly lost in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we couldn't even find the rest of the game, I think.
We didn't even get to, like, a scary part.
The Janitor.
Austin, because you played all of these.
Yeah.
What was your...
They're all bad. I wouldn't play any of them again. Like, they all kind of blur together in terms of them all being bad. I don't know if any of them were substantially worse than the other in my... Like, I think I ranked them at the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, they were all pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
They were all bad. Captivity, which one was that?
The one with the clowns.
Oh, right. Yeah, that one I think stuck out the least to me just because it was like... We played it, and then some dude, like, stabbed me through a door or something... And I was kind of done with it. And then in the special, you played Alien Isolation.
Yes.
Which we talked about in our horror game episode. And I played Bleeding Border. Which that one might have been like... That one might have angered me the most.
Oh, yeah.
Because it not only, like... was a bad game, but it like messed up with our recording stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like we couldn't even get the episode to record right because it was so bad. And, like, the game ran horribly, and, like, yeah, it was just a bad game. And the ideas behind it weren't horrible. The idea of, like, you having to hurt yourself to hurt the enemies. But the execution was just bad.
And I also thought it was hilarious because
the developer, like...
The developer had contacted us.
Yeah, he, like, commented. He's like, you're playing the wrong version of the game, which, one... It did not auto-update. Like, Steam updates your games automatically, and it did not push the update to us. So I will not apologize for that. And two, whenever we did install the update, the game didn't even work.
Yeah,
we couldn't move, right? Like, if we had played the game in the state that he wanted it to, we would have been even more angry with it because it didn't work even. It worked even less. So yeah, that.
And just the fact that with most of these games, that one included, it's just I had to pay money. It wasn't too much, but like I had to pay.
It was still something,
right? I had to pay money for all of those.
There's much better horror games out there that are free.
Yeah.
And these ones all cost money and are horrible. And then one last one, which I think both of us played. It might have just been you playing. I can't remember. It was Anatomy. Was it just you?
Oh, that's just me.
Yeah.
Because
Steven recommended it to us.
And Steven... No. No. That one also scared me.
Yeah, and there wasn't really any jump scares if I remember.
No, it's just the atmosphere got me.
The atmosphere just gets progressively more like threatening
and unsettling,
and you just like keep anticipating something's gonna happen. I think that's the perfect example of like how your expectations can often make things worse than they actually are.
So I think that was an amazing game, because if I'm playing a horror game, and I know I'm a little bitch, a lot of things scare me.
We talked about this last episode.
But if it gets me to the point where I feel like I'm having anxiety, yeah, it's a good horror game.
Yeah, and I think it was just like the idea of like a house being like a body. I think it was just a solid horror game all the way around, and it was really cheap. I think it was like $5, maybe even less than $5.
Yeah.
But that one, like, I didn't regret paying money for it because it was actually a good game.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you're looking for another horror game that's just play through in a night, I'd recommend Anatomy for sure.
It's just one of those things where it's like, Steven, thank you so much for sending us that game, but I hate you because it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. So that kind of that encompassed quite a bit of our first year.
Yeah.
Doing it, and I think for the most part, a lot of the games we've played, I think we remember fondly. Even the ones that like annoyed us a lot at the back on fondly. And hopefully we'll be able to look back on some more ones further down the road.
Yeah, because we want to keep this Green and Purple is. It's not something we're doing it as a hobby.
Yeah,
We're doing this for fun.
I don't ever intend for this to be like our job or anything. I mean, especially
with how
YouTube is, and I mean it's a really small channel. Like we've been idling around like 40 or so people for quite a while, and like I'm not angry about that or anything.
No.
It's just like that's just the way it is. I'm not mad that we're not huge giant YouTube stars. That's just how the channel is. I think it's as much for me and Caleb to just sit down and play games and chat as it is for you guys to watch us and get in on the conversation. So it is what it is. I things will change as time goes by, and maybe we do end up getting bigger, or maybe we never, we just kind of sit around here for as long as we do, can do it. But,
right.
I don't think we really have any big goal as to how we want it to grow or how we want it to change. It's always kind of been what it is. And
I mean, I'll be honest, with my expectations with the show, it's just, I would prefer it not get big. Like Game Grumps or Markiplier big. I would prefer
you invite a lot more negativity once you get bigger. And
I just want to kind of keep a small fan base, really.
I think it's easier for us to be more active with always. I mean, we try and reply to almost every comment we get. And
even though I am late on replying sometimes. Like I'll look at the comment section and it's like 2 days ago, and I'll be like, oh, I feel so bad. But I do always try my best to get around to your comments.
But I mean, I think that's a lot better than the Game Grumps who never reply to comments.
And Aaron's even said that they don't read comments.
Which I don't think you can't really get mad at them too much. Just
because they have millions and
millions of people commenting, and
most of them are stupid.
I mean, there's tons of it that's spam, tons of it that's just hate, tons of it that doesn't really need a response. It's much less a conversation and more just people adding their own thoughts to what the episode is. The community is much more about the community interacting with itself than it is with them interacting with the creator. And I kind of like it, at least with us, to be more like a conversation with us and you guys, and not just you guys talking amongst yourselves or anything.
Which is why I'm still even considering opening up, starting a Discord group for Green and Purple.
Right.
Just because, I mean, I definitely do want to get I mean, as close as we can with our audience. Because we care about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, most of you.
Mezzy.
No, not her.
Not her.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this was kind of just... And I think some people might think it's silly. It's like, you guys looking back on their old videos. They only got 40 subscribers. Like, what are they really looking back at? But I mean...
It's a lot.
It's still significant to us.
Yeah.
We've put a significant amount of time into this channel, and
I'm proud of it.
Even though some people can look at it and say, like, we wasted our time because, there's only 40 subscribers, and some days our videos get, 1 view or no views or something like that, but it still feels worthwhile to us, and we still enjoy doing it, and whenever we can look at it and say we're not enjoying it anymore, that's whenever we'll stop doing it.
Exactly.
Or, whenever we just can't do it anymore, other circumstances say that we can't. But I guess that this podcast episode's really just been us just chatting about our old series and chatting about the channel as a whole. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed this podcast. We might be getting back into more just playing some games after this, back to our normal 2 series thing. But maybe we'll do some more podcasts in the future if you guys enjoy these and want more of them, because I think we've enjoyed making them.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fun just talking.
And if they do, if you guys want to give a suggestion, like, talk about this, I want to hear your opinions on this, go for it.
Yeah, drop us a comment in this video, and we will definitely, when we do more podcasts and see...
And it could be any topic, really.
It doesn't have to be something that you think like a whole episode would be dedicated to. If it's just something like a quick question you want us to answer, we can incorporate that into any episode.
Of course.
So leave us a comment. I think...
Like, if you want to know, like, what hand soap I use.
What do you use? Like Suave or something?
Huh? I'll actually be honest, I don't know.
Well, ask us and we'll find out. Okie doke.
Dove.
Is it Dove?
Dove.
What a bitch. Anyway, that's all for today. We will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
See ya.